Hello, YouTube. It's about that time. Dimensions End 7 is around the corner, and I'm gonna help y'all out with some foresight, tips and tricks, ideas to use on this stage per usual. It's gonna be centered around a certain character, as the thumbnail might suggest. Spoiler, Zach. But y'all know how I do. So first I'm going to do the usual, describe the stage. It's a little shorter this time. It's only 3 waves, two of which have bosses, one of which is trash. I'm going to list them, list out the roles you want to cover. I'm going to be showing off the popular characters, cough cough Zach. Um, Explain them, show them in context, etc. And I'll go into what I'll be doing for the stage or what I might experiment with, because I always say I'm gonna do one thing and I end up changing it later, just because. And I'm gonna show the data from the Japan side that we recorded, not as a source of truth, just for fun. And yeah, that should be all. Shouldn't take too long of your time. Let's get through it. So FEOD 7, as it was called, the Japanese version. Um, the trouble with this stage is the very familiar Rosa beetles. Now we just fought them recently. Fortunately, we have two new characters who are pretty well designed to fight off this stage. You know how the bosses, they do some nasty attack down, max brave down I think it is, and some other debuffs. And if they break you while they're angry, they're just gonna ASP attack you and kill you. Fortunately for us, Zack and Ignis countered these bosses pretty easily, and as I repeated in my Dimensions End 6 video, we're going to see a trend where the characters that were released that month, the Dimensions End stage is kind of tuned to them. So people thinking, oh, I can just hoard till Burst Era, you might be a little, if you care about completing content the month it comes out, then that might be a little problematic for you. But yeah, so Zack is pretty good on the stage simply because, like you just saw, his shield is invincible. He doesn't get broken. Fortunately for you, if you're not interested in Zack, if you don't like Zack, well, if you don't like Zack, unsubscribe. um, 8 also is a good counter to these bosses, and here's a duo with Yuna and 8, which is pretty sick, I think. Yuna has last stand, and 8 dodges everything, so when they target him, he'll counter and do his thing, obviously. But yeah, the goal is to not get debuffed. And honestly, the debuffs are kind of secondary to not getting broken because we fought these bosses. You get hit by that break, run's just dead pretty much. Um, but I don't want to spend too much time on these bosses because everyone knows them. It's same old, same old. Debuff evasion and tanking potentially. You don't have to do either, but it'll make your life easier. The next part, however, is where it gets a little tricky. This is what Ram Ignis. So it's the Kaiser Behemoth from Final Fantasy 13, the one that well, let me see if I can catch the animation of it. Nah, but he's sitting down in the beginning of the fight, and you're like, oh, all right, this dude's not doing too much. And then, oh, I missed it. Hit him too hard, not too much HP, and he come on, Zach, where is it? There it is. No, it's not. All right, missed it. There we go. He cleanses, stands up, and after he stands up, there's a bit of a gimmick to the stage. So he's going to target the party member with the highest HP initially, which can be abused with 8, which is pretty cool. So in this duo, as you can see, let's see if I can catch the stand up. No, it's been a while. This fight took a while. Yeah, so Zack had the highest HP in that last video. Here it comes. As soon as he stands up, he's targeting Yuna, who has the highest HP. And he's going to target whoever, and shout out to Xenon for this description. But he's going to try and debuff them until they can't. Well, he's gonna try and debuff them until it lands. So you can abuse this with 8 pretty much, and then he's gonna target the next highest HP member after that. So there's the debuff with the fog. Oh yeah, fog. You can't use abilities while that debuff is on you, which is also another tricky part. So let's see if I can catch it right quick. Yuna's got fog on, and it's kind of why Yuna's kind of sketchy on this stage, because if she gets debuff with the fog, she can't cleanse it off herself either. Yuna sucks. But if you bring Ignis, you have your debuff evasion aura, so you don't really have to worry about potentially, like if you bring Lena, for example, or Aphmau. You don't have to worry about the buffs falling off because you can. It's an aura. You don't have to worry about it. But yeah, that's the thing on this stage. Ishtola's good here, obviously, because she's pretty much good everywhere. But that's pretty much all you have to worry about. The debuffs on this stage, on the third wave, I'd say, are at least a little nastier, just because the attack down is real thick. I think I was looking at, I had Xenon's video up. If I can find that. Yeah. So after standing up, shout out to Xenon again. Great content. You should subscribe, although he hasn't uploaded in a bit. It'll target the character with the highest HP in the next turn to throw debuffs, and it'll stay on them, or it doesn't source the target until the current target has been successfully debuffed. So you can pretty much abuse this with 8. Let's go ahead and show that off. So what do you say? Target highest HP, and that would be 8 at this moment. So he's just going to keep targeting him, and 8 will just keep countering, and he'll just get stuck in a loop, which is pretty cool. If you're trying to save Zach, or you have 8 and you don't know where to put him, real good in that part. But that's really the whole fight. I mean, don't get debuffed, and well, and if you are going to get debuffed, you can tank through it, but it'll be obnoxious. The attack down, I don't know the potency of it, but it's real thick. Like your damage just drops immediately. It's pretty awful. And don't get broken on the second wave. Not much else to say. And oh, last thing, the turns on this stage are deceptively tight. Like if you take too many breaks or take too long of turns, you might not get it. Let's see how he came out. Yeah, see, it's 105, but that score is not, considering how many breaks and how under turns he was. It's a little tight. Let's see. There's Cypher. Shout out to Cypher. Um, this is a good run, by the way. This is why you run Ignis and Charlotta together, because this is about to be thick. Look at this. Whap, whap, whap. That's a purple Ignis, but you know what I mean. Let's see if I can get score on here. A little too fast, but it was 58k. Here's another one. That's Xenon. You can bring ulti for the turns, by the way. Oh yeah, this is the one I wanted to show. This is a fun team, by the way. But look at that. 94 turns, 10 turns under, 1 break, and barely getting over score. So what you realistically want to aim for is about 95 turns and as little breaks as possible. Those breaks will screw your score up. So watch out for that as well. So you need to be turn efficient while also covering the other roles. And as I was saying, Zach and Ignis are pretty much built for that. But you could bring Lena too. This is the team I plan on bringing. Shout out to Nico. Um, Lena covers debuff evasion, makes Zach's shields ridiculous. You got enough battery and regen to run across this team. I remember when I ran this stage originally, I was running Lena, Sephiroth, and Zach, and I could barely make turns. One, because Sephiroth's output is average. Uh, Lena's output is nothing to laugh at. It was pretty much double DPS. Well, this team is like full aura, so they all support each other, which is nice. Um, Ulti, Warrior Light, Kate Sith for regen memes, and Ultimecia being broken. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the stage. The roles to cover. So I kind of alluded to this, but you want to avoid getting broken at all costs, and that can mean a multitude of things. That can mean bring a good battery. It can mean bring an evader like Galuf. Galuf, I don't know how to say his name. Or bring in a Vader like eight Galuf battery like Ish. Uh, what's his team? Or, yeah, pretty much tank or evader, because if you get broken, you know it is. I know a lot of people liked using Warrior Light on the Rosa boss, and that was cool. But his shield is starting to become more paper, so you gotta watch out for that for sure. And yeah, but like I said, Zach's gonna be most popular. You want debuff evasion? You prefer debuff evasion, I should say, because you can get through it without it. But like I said, those debuffs are very nasty. Let me see if I can get a bit of Zach getting hit with the debuff and watch his damage drop. Oops. Wow. What did I do? Alright. Yep. So now Zach's being targeted. The boss isn't even in the red, and his damage is falling off already, which is wild to think about. I think this all attack inflicts a debuff as well. Yeah, that was the attack down right there. Alright, let's see. How much did he drop? Although this team is pretty aura stacked, so it might not even be a problem, to be honest. Let's find out. Yeah, see, look at that. That didn't do that much damage. That's pretty crazy if you think about it. Rose's damage, let's see. She's max. Just doing 4k at pop. Zach still got the attack down on him, and he's being targeted, and yeah, he's not even doing 9s anymore. The boss doesn't even have health. That attack down is very, very nasty. So debuff evasion is your friend. Ignis is a cheap way out of it. Afmao, Selfie, Lena. Lena's pretty good on the stage. Yuna. Um, I think I've shown most of the flexible team comps. They mostly revolve around 8. Zach. Or, I mean, Celeste is useful, as you saw with that Bart's run. So you can work Celeste in there. Warrior Light can do it too. I know Loken ran Selfie Warrior Light Golbez. That's a good team. It covers the debuff evasion. It covers the tanking because Selfie boosts Warrior Light shields into infinity. And Golbez just for his ridiculous damage, and it works out. It's pretty good. Yuna can evade help get rid of the debuffs too. She extends 8's buff, which is nice, and ulti's there for damage. Stuff like this, Celeste can work. It's proven. But most of you probably are gonna, especially considering how popular Zach is, are probably gonna run him. So yeah, let me. I took a snapshot of the JP sheet at the time, per usual. Let's go through some teams. Actually, let me show off the roster first. So up top, I don't know if that's big enough for YouTube. You got Zach being most popular, 30 uses. Ignis, who also came at the time, 21 uses. And this is without foresight, people, so people weren't planning. Let's see. Rosa, because it's half the fight's her boss. Just and she boosts Zach shields like crazy as well. Good battery for Ignis. Ramza, because the turns are tight. It turns are real tight. Sephiroth, because he's recent. His AoE is good for the beetles, and he's got good single target damage versus the Kaiser. But you need to make sure to support him with a good attack aura, or he's going to be a liability because he won't be hitting that hard. Especially if you get hit with the attack down debuff. Oh god. Yeah, because that thing's AoE. No thank you. Lena for evasion, 8 for dodge shenanigans. Vanille to shut the bosses down so they don't hit you as hard. Similar to Rosa, last chapter. Eco, who was probably along there with 8. Golbez, ulti, just strong DPS. Renoa, Scepter, yeah, just strong DPS or tanks really, and then you get just other compositions. That ended up working. Let's go ahead and look at the list. You're gonna see a lot of creativity here. Ready? Ready? Sephiroth, Rosa, Zach. Team, I don't care about the debuffs. It's good enough. Wow, 3 of them in a row. Ignis, Bosch, Golbez. Shout out to Fred. Yeah, that's crazy DPS, debuff evasion, and tanking. Covers all the roles. 8, Eco, Vanille. Shut the bosses down. Dodge, don't get broken. Doesn't handle debuffs at all, but since 8, the Kaiser Behemoth's AI was being abused, you can get through the attack down pretty easily. Zach, Lena, Barrett, shout out to Nico. Debuff evasion, tanking, and support. Fury and Ignis Zach, again, DPS, debuff evasion, tanking. Zach, Rosa, Ignis, support, evasion, crazy DPS with Zach getting buffed up like crazy from Ignis and Rosa. AD Vanille again. That's a good team. That's a real good team right there. Zach Ignis Ramza, free turns, debuff evasion, and buffs. You're seeing a pattern here. There's a lot of. If you don't see Zach, I think you're. Yeah, here's something unique. Tifa, Sirius, Tola. That team is pretty much ignoring everything about this fight. You're not getting broken because Tola and Sarah got crazy battery, and Sarah's got her attack down, and Tifa's just Tifang. Let's see, Golbez, Ignis, Vanille, debuff evasion, DPS, and attack downing the bosses, then will break you. Sephiroth, Warrior Light, Rosa, um, crazy Warrior Light shields, Sephiroth with the crazy regens. That's about probably as flexible as the teams are going to get. I'm sure we'll see some more global, interesting completes once we get around there. But yeah, you're seeing a pretty good trend with these teams. Zach and Indus are a good pair. Good thing they're on a banner together. What I will be doing is probably stealing Nico's strategy of where you at? Somewhere around here. I don't need to show it to say it. Zach, Barrett, Lena. Although I might replace Ignis with Barrett. I mean with Lena and see what I can do. Because I don't have any interest in maxing Ignis again lately. I'm gonna see if I can do it with him at 0 out of 3, and if I do, it'll be on YouTube, and if I don't, it won't be on YouTube. We'll see. On the eve, well, actually, now that FEOD's done in JP, this is the end. I haven't updated my sheet either, so I need to go through and do that after this video. But Zach still reigns at the top, Ignis in second, Rose in third, Galuf in fourth, just because I think he can solo this. No, he can't solo it, but I think he can duo it. He's pretty good here. Pinello, just because she's got crazy buffs. Paladin Cecil for his defense buffs and battery. Selfie's good here, along with Warrior Light, Sephiroth. Yuri will also clap this stage. He comes out at the end of the month. Renault's good AoE here. Vayne is Vayne. Leo is Leo. They're both broken. So yeah, the distribution, although it slightly changed, um, it's remained pretty much the same. Let me go back there. Yeah, so Zach, Ignis, Rosa, at least on this sheet, remained up top. And that might be due to people just being too lazy to edit their sheets, or they just kept them there because it worked. But I mean, it is what it is. I think that's all that I wanted to cover. Like I said, it's pretty short. I wish you all best of luck in your polls, completing the stage, etc. Be sure to fill out the sheet, etc. If you're on Discord, if you're not on Discord, please join r/City Opera Omnia. I forget what it's called, but you'll find it eventually. Join that Discord, and I got a sheet running that I'm using to keep clears, and yeah, hopefully produce something good. Community efforts such as this. Shout out to Alice and Lena putting in the work for this, and yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Good luck. Have a great day. I'll see you in the future. Bye.